And one of its claims to fame is that it actually rolled the road for the new Wembley Stadium, not the new Wembley Stadium that we've got now. This was the original Wembley Stadium, and just before they pulled it down a few years ago, they took this engine back up there again for a photo call showing the engine back on the roads that it actually put in originally in its working days. The name Ebenezer came from its original owner. It means in Hebrew it's worker in stone. Here it's much more advanced. It's a bevel gear and quadrant, and it also has instantaneous reverse. These engines came into being really when we started to go from tarmac and road chippings to tarmacadam. When it got to the end of the run, the engine actually stopped and then went backwards. And this left a slight depression in the tarmac. So Wallace and Stevens produced this advanced roller that it actually reverses immediately. It doesn't actually really come to a halt, so you didn't get this depression. Dave Young now with his Burrow. He bought this more or less as a kit of parts a few years ago, and during that winter put her all back together, got her back into working order, and started bringing her out to rallies. The paintwork on it pretty well is all the original paintwork. That's never been done. He's built a canopy on it to give a bit of protection from the weather, as many of these did. Wallace and Stevens, I'm not sure where this one's going. Still carries the name on there of the council that he worked for, Frimley and Camberley, up in Surrey. On either side of this little Wallace you can see a couple of tanks. These are the water tanks, which fortunately were not one of the biggest builders of engines. This again is an early engine, dates from the late 1800s. Fortune Company weren't one of the biggest manufacturers of engines, but they did produce some very, very nice machines. Again, an agricultural engine. This one's still retaining its steel wheels, hasn't been put on rubbers at all. This is how it would have been originally come out of the works at Northampton, with these steel straight wheels. Now I don't know whether you might have noticed, but all the rollers have a solid flywheel. And all the agricultural engines have got a spoked flywheel. And it was thought that the reasoning behind this was because when these engines were in daily use, there was still we're all underway with their plastic bucket. No, Adrian, you've got a plastic bucket. You fill your bucket from that one. You don't take that bucket. Well, that was a good one. to have the bucket on board the engine before you start going back, Mr. McConaughey. Right, Endurance has got some water. What was that other bucket doing in there, Adrian? Now they've got to get back without spilling it. Once they're back, they've got to transfer the water from that bucket into their plastic bottle. Now I have a suspicion up here on this Wallace and Stevens that there's a non-plastic bucket on board. Arrived at the bucket. Now all they've got to do is to get back up the other end without spilling too much of it. She's all on her own here with the roller. No, you fill, no, the plastic bucket you fill, not the water, that goes up the other end to fill up. You've got to take that back with you. They told you they tried cheating all the time. So all you've got to do is to try and hold the bucket, drive the engine and steer it all at the same time. All over the tender floor. Right, now you can get stalled at the last little bit. This one we definitely don't. That one there, well, not sure. Where's the one going round in circles? He's still going round in circles. Roy was the first one to arrive.